CCR TV, channel of God's love. A warm welcome to all our viewers on this episode of Activists of Goa. A qualified teacher by profession and a social worker by passion, she has come a long way on the social activism front in Goa. She took voluntary retirement from her teaching job to go full-time into social activism and formed the NGO Bailanso Ek Vote in the year 1992 to reach out to women in distress and to fight for justice and women's rights and liberties. With their headquarters in Margao, Bailanso Ek Vote has been in the forefront for women's welfare in Goa and has worked towards their empowerment. We are happy today to welcome to our studios the founder president of Bailanso Ek Vote, Ma'am Auda Viegas. A warm welcome to you, ma'am, to our studios today.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here, and I think we should proceed with our chat.
Yes.
Ma'am, you by profession you are a high secondary teacher, but what prompted you to get into social activism?
I had seen that women have no space to come and share their burdens. They go through so much all by themselves. I had personal experience also where people don't help or don't reach out to a woman, and that made me think about wanting to do something from my side. And even when I was in the teaching profession, I had several women coming to me with their difficulties and their problems, and I said, okay, we need to open up something for women. And I always had a passion for women, children and the environment. I've gone to jail several times for the environment also. So I thought that, okay, if I'm a full-time teacher, then I cannot dedicate time to my issues. And therefore, I gave voluntary retirement and then I took up this full-time. So I'm available to women full-time. The office is in my house.
Okay.
So any 24/7, any woman can drop in and talk. So even whenever they wanted to come and share, they would come to my home. It's a homely place and they could open up freely. And I could think of ways and means to help them.
Okay. When actually did you form this NGO Bailanso Ek Vote? And what was the need to form such an organization? One part is that women could not go with their issues and they needed space to share this. So what is from your end, when did you form this?
I formed the organization in 1992. That's when I retired also from school, voluntary retirement, teaching profession. And then I said I have to do something for women. At that time, 1992, there was no specific law that helped women.
I see.
If you went to the police, they said, oh, it's a civil problem. Don't come to us. When women are thrown out of their house, when the marriage breaks up, when the in-laws get at them, when dowry harassment was there, and nobody was there to listen to their side of the story, not even the police. Of course, I can't complain because with my willpower, I could get them at least to come up to the place. And we helped them to retrieve their personal belongings. I must tell you that at that time, women were just told, go. My relationship with you is over, go. Go where?
The situation was such.
Yeah, and the children were at home. The women were thrown out. She didn't even have a toothbrush with her. No money. And at that time there was a thing like a married daughter should not come back to the parental home. Parental home also had a lot of taboos about taking back because people talked. That was a very different time from today.
Social setup was
totally different.
Okay.
So that is what made me go full time into this. Initially, we would just accompany her to her house to collect her personal belongings. And I must tell you that we went to her house, we had lot of bitter experiences because they're not opening the door. It's a house. You know that when you register your marriage, you become co-owner with your husband.
Yes.
But yet, our people would say, no, you can't enter the house. You come to the court. Now, how is a woman supposed to come to the court when she has nothing with her? Nothing at all. So we would go, we would either coax, we would quarrel also. But anyway, we entered the house and helped her to get her personal belongings. And there are some policemen who came with us and stood outside because there were cases of them holding dandas and all in their hand.
Okay.
So we don't enter.
Yes.
But there were just 5 women with me at that time. My car, which I had bought as a retirement gift to myself, and in my car I would drive them. We would go there and 5 people, 5 women. You can imagine. And they are standing with dandas and all there. At one place, Kering, when I went to collect personal belongings, the whole village gathered. They gathered, we had taken out the things, they put them back. But then, God given, I have some kind of different thinking. So I said, come to the police station. You have taken back the things, come to the police station. I took them to the police station, and the girl for whom I went to collect the personal belongings, she told me she had a bajuban. Bajuban is that gold.
Gold,
thing.
yeah.
She said, ask them for that. I said, okay, we are going back, but just show us the bajuban. I can't say, give it to me. Show us. No, te ami gana dolla. You can't pawn your wife's gold. 15 days later, I got the things out.
I see. So things were so different then.
Very different.
And yet you took this bold step to form an organization to, handle these sensitive issues, if I may say so.
Yeah.
Isn't it? They were too sensitive that time.
Very sensitive.
As you said, there was no
And
specific law to safeguard.
And to tell you the truth, everybody would talk around and say, don't go with these women are no good.
Yes.
That is me and my team.
Yes.
They are no good. Don't go with them. You'll also get spoiled. How I could spoil women, I never knew.
Ma'am, you said that with you in the forefront, there were 4 other women who joined hands with you in the beginning. Could you tell us who exactly they were and what was their other professional engagement?
I had started.
Who also had the same mind to join
I
you?
had a beauty parlor.
Okay.
I still have a beauty parlor. I'm a beauty teacher also.
I see.
Yeah. So that was one girl whom I had engaged. She was very young at that time. So she was one, and I have 3 neighbors, and they were my backbone. And I appreciate them because they didn't have much education, but they had the will to help other women. And they, along with me, both the taunts, the accusations and everything, and they were my support. One of them is very ill now, one has expired,
I see.
and one is gone abroad.
So all that you got from them was that moral support.
I needed it.
They didn't have any professional expertise as such
No,
to
but
be
they
part
learned.
of it, but
They
they
learned.
learned. But the greatness of these women was
they had the
joined
love
you.
for women.
Yes.
See, they have the love to help a woman, and
Correct.
that was very, very important.
Ma'am, when you started this in 1992, did you have any fair idea what you were getting into and what were the responsibilities that you would have to face?
No, but I'm a risk taker.
You're a risk taker.
Yeah. I believe that if I want to do something, I can do it.
Okay.
And that gave me the courage to go out. So there were risks, like to my personal self, there were risks to my car, there were risks to my beauty parlor, there were risks everywhere. But then what do? If you stay in your house, if you wash your vessels and cook, nobody will interfere with you. So these are work hazards.
Yes.
They have to be faced, and if your passion is strong enough, it sees you through everything.
And that's what you did.
Yeah. And I'm proud of it.
Yes, absolutely. Ma'am, how serious were the atrocities committed against women in the 90s and later?
One was that there was dowry harassment.
Dowry harassment.
That is like my neighbor's daughter-in-law has brought a car. What have you brought? And taunts. And there's no pain like mental, emotional harassment. We all look at a cut and think that beating a woman is pain. But you know what she's made to suffer in that home where there is no support. all the people in the family are the husband's family. So who would support her? The poor thing has to suffer and suffer the bad words, the harassment. This was not all.
So a married woman in the house was like one against all the
Against
others.
so many.
So many.
Because all of them would combine with her husband. It's a very intimate relationship where you go into a marriage with love, desires, longing, happiness and safety. But she was not safe there. I don't say it's in every home. There were some homes where the daughter-in-law was treated very well. And suicides. At that time, suicides and slow killing also was in force. It started in the 70s, but till the 90s, we had the slow poisoning also. If they didn't want a daughter-in-law, they saw that either she ended her life and then she said she was mad. But I failed to understand how a girl who had lived so happily in her parental home could go mad once she comes there. I failed to understand this. So I thought that there is some provocation. And the provocation was the harassment that was caused to her. You are not fit, you don't know how to cook, and you don't feel bad.
Yeah.
But men always think their mother cooks better than the wife. I'm sorry, because they're used to it. It's not their fault. I don't blame them. So that harassment for
Maybe
the woman. Yeah.
this situation has changed now with
Now
the modern
it's
day
not
men.
there. Now the men cook
Men cook, absolutely.
So no.
And they cook with pleasure.
and cook well and cook well.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you tell us and can you recall the first few years of Violence or Ekfort, the challenges that your organization faced, the success stories as well as the drawbacks that you had?
I would tell you that success stories are the things that kept us going. Even if it was 1 out of 10, it meant a lot. Because that gave us the hope that we can do something. I'd like to share one incident with you. You remember there was a storm some 10-15 years back. A severe storm where trees fell and every roads were blocked. And I was out at midnight rescuing a girl, a 15-year-old girl, from her father who was dead drunk. He had locked her in the house with him and the mother was made to kneel outside.
I see.
So when we went there, he was not ready to open the door. But finally I have a way with people where I got him to open the door. I rescued the child, took the mother and child, and at that time Sisters Adorers in Beloy, who are in Beloy now,
Nove.
Rehabilitation
Yeah.
Center, they had a home in Kepe. So I took mother and daughter and for safety there. By the time I came back, it was about 12:30, no, it was about 2 o'clock because we had to take a different route. Could not come by the main road because the trees were down. When we got home, my husband was at the door, right out there at the beginning. He's saying, "You don't enter the house." I said, "Why?" "You know what the neighbor said? He said you are a prostitute and I'm a pimp." I said, "I'm sorry about that." "No," he said, "now you go, write a complaint and then come back." And then he didn't take us in. There was myself and another girl. So we went over to the police station. The neighbor, actually what happened is, due to the wind, some tiles of my house fell on his house and probably broke, but we didn't throw them down. Anyway, I wrote a complaint and I came back, but my husband didn't open the door. He said, "You sleep outside in the veranda." I have a big house. But I slept in the veranda that night, spread my paddar for myself and the girl who was with me, and we slept in the veranda. It was risky, but today my husband thinks differently. He realized I didn't give up with that. He realized that no matter what you tell her, she's going to do her work. And he has implicit trust in me. Only he was hurt. I don't blame him for behaving like that because that man said a nasty thing to him, which was not true about me, not true about him. I'm a pensioner. Even as a retired teacher, I'm a pensioner.
Yes.
I have money.
Yes.
So why would I go sell my flesh? For me it was okay to take that taunt because I ventured into it. But he didn't deserve it. So I never blamed him for that. Now, success, failures, there were some. In the sense of some doors never opened.
Okay.
So the personal belongings were there, and it was a long struggle to get them back without any legal help. So, like I told you, police felt it's a civil matter. I don't blame them. They
You
could
said
not
there was
do.
no specific law in place.
But
also.
I appreciate one policeman, doors not opening. He actually kicked the door for me and opened it. So till today, I treasure that memory. There are good people in this world
Yes.
who are male. And I don't have anything against men. But I feel that women need support. Even if they want to go to politics, they need support. They need a backing. And if they get it from their family, they're the happiest people.
Ma'am, you began your organization with just 5 other women along with you, and they were a big source of moral support, as you said. Later on, did more women join your organization? How easy or difficult was it
If
to
you know,
convince
if you know me,
since you started working?
yeah, I've been working for the environment as well. When Metastrips factory came, we were objecting to it, and I was a leader for the women. Okay, at that time I could bring out 1,000 women, more than 1,000 women. So we don't have membership as such.
Okay.
We have volunteers, and in any issue that I face, I found that women surround me. So that has not been a deterrent for anybody to join me. Today, you know, they say that first people resent, then they come close to you, and then they clap for you. Today it's the clapping stage.
I see.
Yeah.
So you have gone through all the stages with fair
Yeah,
amount of
happily.
happily. Can you tell us which was the first major kind of a case or a issue that Bailanso Ekfort handled and tasted grand success?
Tasted success.
Yes.
Okay. You know, during the 1944 war, the Second World War, there were lots of our women from South whose husbands were working on the merchant ship. And that merchant ship, sometimes because of the torpedo, they sunk. These young women never had a life with their husbands. And though other people, military people, got pension, there were war widows of the merchant navy who didn't get pension. For me, it was a big challenge. And at that time, it was very early in our career also. So at that time, I approached Edward Valero, Mr. Edward Valero, who was External Affairs Minister at that time. He was based in Delhi. So I sent him a petition
I see.
that these women should get something in recognition of the sacrifices that they made as young women getting widowed and no life at all, and these women had reached about 70 years now. So he worked for us really hard, and we not only got pension but with retrospective effect for them.
I see.
Yeah,
So that was another victory.
That was a big victory for me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ma'am, if you look back at the 90s
yeah.
and the present times now, you know, can you tell us how's the crime situation and the atrocities committed against women? What has changed here in Goa?
They have not changed.
They have not changed.
Not changed much. Though we have better laws,
Yeah.
though we have better approach with the police stations and everywhere, though we are heard now, still I feel that crimes against women are increasing day by day. You can see, you find a rape somewhere, abuse of a girl child somewhere, or some teacher doing something to the children, or something like this, which needs to be seriously looked at. The complaints that are made have to reach the logical end. Unless people who abuse women and children are punished, there is a conviction, and they see justice coming, and the others who commit the offense see that there is something that's going to be a punishment for them, things will take a long time to change.
You said there should be convictions.
Yeah.
On this aspect, I want to ask you, are you happy with the rate of conviction that we see in our state as far as such offences?
Now I can say something. As far as human trafficking was concerned,
Yeah.
we are seeing a little improvement in the conviction rate, and which is a big success, because these cases come up now. a few days later I'll be attending a case which happened in 2013.
I see.
Yeah, now we are 10 years later. One, my memory, how well it will hold the incident. So this way, if you take cases up after a long period of time, then there is less likelihood, because the witness may be approached.
Passage of time.
Dilution
of.
Yes, dilution, and evidence is not there. So many things are lacking, and therefore I don't blame anybody as such for the rate of convictions. But if the investigation is watertight,
Okay.
is above anything that can be found fault with, if there is quick justice, if the cases go to their logical end quickly, I think the situation of women in Goa will improve. And I think the time has come when legislators have to look at the situation of women in Goa, because we are 50% of the population. We are your voters. We are those who stand behind you because our assembly speaks.
Yes.
There's 3 women there. There should have been 50% women there. Forget 50%. There should have been 25% women there. So where is our voice heard? Where are we going to, how are we going to get justice? These are issues that need to be looked at. And I think our legislators should wake up and look at this. Only then, when the elected representatives start looking at women as a resource, appreciating them, lifting them up, and putting them on par with you, then only we can hope for an improvement.
Okay. Now, coming back to Goa's tourism. Goa's tourism is flourishing. What do you have to say on this Goa's flourishing tourism culture, and especially the type of tourists that Goa is getting, and the menace of drugs, sex trafficking, etc.? How does this affect? How does it affect the women?
It is
society?
affecting all women in Goa, and all of us have one quality where we say, this doesn't concern me. Now see, recent raid that was conducted, and 5 women were rescued,
Yes.
Kenyan women,
Yes.
African women conducting
Yes.
a business in Goa,
International sex trafficking.
and without any qualification. They have come here as, they are brought as massagers. Where are the certificates that they have qualified as massagers? If I want to look for a job there, they will tell me to do their own course, because they don't feel that we are good enough for them. Indians are good enough for them. How come they have come here? And they are bringing the girls in, keeping their passports and their visas with them, and conducting business here, when they themselves have not come here with a work permit. So where are the watchdogs of liberty?
So all these illegalities are happening.
Drug also. You see every second day, not every second day, every day when you open the paper, drug raid here, drug raid there.
There's
so
always.
How come we are not able to stop it? That means they are showing the world that drugs are used here.
Available easily.
Yeah, supply and demand. There is a demand, so there is a supply coming in. How come, and who are the people who are doing drug business in Goa? It's somebody who's coming from outside state. So what impression they have of us? Have you ever thought about this? They come here for sun, sand, less sand, more women, and drugs, and gambling. So what's flourishing in Goa? We are trying to take it towards some other nation, which we have to stop. And Goans have to wake up. This is the wake up call for Goans. Otherwise tomorrow, yes, now they are bringing women from out, lots of women from the, rural areas are being roped into this, into prostitution. Children are selling drugs. Children are taking drugs. And here I would like to add something more, which needs a stern look at by the state and the education department. Children are taking what you call e-cigarette or vape. You must have heard about it. Okay, they inhale it or puff at it, puff more. So it's going to affect the lungs and it's going to affect the brain. What type of future do we have? If our children are going to be stopped in myths education, then what type of future do we have? And I'm not only concerned about boys, I'm also concerned about girls. I'm also concerned about the things that are happening in Goa which needs to be stopped to stop the crime rate and to stop atrocities against women and children.
Ma'am, as the president of Bailanso Ekvot, what do you see are the problems faced by our women in Goa today? Is it domestic violence? Is it alcoholism? Is it unemployment? What exactly is that these women
Domestic violence
is
exists.
still prevalent?
It exists.
It is in existence.
Exists. I run the one-stop center for South Goa, and in a day I will get at least one woman who's been battered, either physically, emotionally, psychologically, or financially. She's abused. So she comes to us because we give support to them. Support in the sense of counseling, medical help, or filing a complaint, or filing a complaint under the this thing BDO, who is the
Okay.
protection officer,
Yes.
and other legal aid, legal advice. So this is the support we give women. So we find so many women coming to us.
Is this domestic violence that you speak of,
Yeah.
is it confined to the weaker section of the society, or is it across the social spectrum?
Sorry, it doesn't know the thickness and the thinness of the wall, or the thickness and the thinness of the pocket. It exists everywhere. Even educated women are battered, which is sad thing to see. They are not only battered, they have to give a check to the husband at the end of the month if they are in employment. He will withdraw the money. So many cases like that.
This is in existence
Yes.
in our modern society,
Yes, and
and
jobs.
you are handling such cases.
Yes, and jobs. If a woman goes out to work, when she comes back, her mother-in-law will say, "You slept with everybody and came." She's earning something for the fires to burn in the house.
Exactly.
And to that you talk to her like that, and women know they have an innate sense of modesty. If you abuse them like this, they don't want to go out and work. Or how she should dress. Why did you wear this and go? Whom did you meet on the way? Whom are you talking to? I mean, where is the freedom for the wife?
So this kind of, should I say,
What's
mental
the-
harassment, is it some kind of control? Is it still in practice?
Yeah, and even if she doesn't get a boy child,
All
then
the more.
All the more. Or if she doesn't get any child at all. Or if the husband died, after he had AIDS, he died, and she contacted it from him, she's harassed or thrown out of the house. Where are the rights we are talking about? They should be there somewhere for us to use.
How can you bring a change to this particular situation?
I think people need to change their mindset towards women.
Hasn't education changed their mindset?
If you're talking of education, as an educator, I'd like to say that education should bring about a radical change in the mindset, a radical change. A teacher has to work as a facilitator
Yes.
for learning. Now, the type of teachers, I'm not criticizing them, when they take this type of teachers who are actually more a health hazard for children than a beneficiary, then we have to think. So what is happening everywhere is something that needs to be looked at properly and changed. Teacher is the second person after the mother the child will come in contact with.
Absolutely.
And if our children are abused in the institution itself, then what? Then what? What are they learning? If they are shown videos, pornographic videos, what will happen to the child? So, quality of life will change only after the quality of the type of values that we give our children. And parents, they are earning for the children, they are going abroad and earning for the children. They send money here, but how that money is used, they have no way of knowing.
And no control also.
No control also.
Ma'am, with your NGO, Bailanso Ekvot, you are supplementing the efforts of the government, to bring a change in society. As far as the freedom, liberties of women are concerned, has your NGO received any funding, financial help, support from the Department of Women and Child Welfare?
I started my NGO thinking that help is at the end of your own hand. And when I started my NGO, I also thought about, if I take funds from somebody, then I'm bound to the person, I cannot open my mouth. And if you go through my biodata, you will see how many times I have gone to jail, come out of jail, spoken against anybody's wrongdoing, and then you will get a picture of what I believe in. So my organization, from day one, we make things. When the typical local people, the Nis Goinkar whom we call, they used to wear a kapod. From
Yes.
that kapod, I started making jackets or wraparound skirts, or covering a folder with it like a file, making a bag out of it, making several things. So I put them in for sale in a shop which I have in my house. It's called Goan Identity.
I see.
Yeah. Now that cupboard is not available. The cost of it is very high, and nobody will buy my things. Free labor, but nobody will buy my things if I charge them high. So that has stopped.
So your NGO does its
Supports-
own
support-
self-financing
Self-financing.
and funding. You don't depend on any
Anyone.
resources for funding
No.
part of it.
No.
Now, can you tell us and the viewers, have you faced any opposition as far as your NGO's work is concerned? Any kind of threats from any sources for the work that you do for the upliftment of women?
Not
in
from
Goa?
the government.
Not from the government.
But like I irritate somebody.
Hmm.
They have broken the glasses of the parlor or house,
Okay.
or thrown coconuts at my car, or threatened me, or sent telephonic messages, you come on this particular road, we'll shoot you.
Will shoot you.
Yeah.
So
That's a
coming
personal.
back to this, you reminded me of that. There was a time, I think there was some issue and you were given 24/7 police protection
Yes.
some years ago.
Yes.
Can you tell our viewers what actually was that incident, how it happened, and how did you manage those couple of months? Because it must have been quite stressful.
I had, the collector had given me a bungalow at Sonsoro to run
Okay.
my office.
I see.
Yeah. So we used to meet there, women used to come there, and people used to come there. I have even sheltered some Mahanand's wife there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at that time what happened is, I had got on the wrong side of one of the politicians.
Okay.
Yeah. And that politician was a powerful politician. So he sent 5 men there to the bungalow to tell me, you come out and you see. So I had told the police this, and I can say police was very protective. Every night they kept guard at my house,
Okay.
but I was not frightened. I used to go out about my work and do everything. These things, if they had to frighten me, then when they were throwing stones, when I was here, I'll tell you one incident long ago. So this ends here. Do you want to
Yeah.
know anything about that?
No.
Protection was given for 3
Yes.
months.
3 months.
When only I had a hunger fast for 44 days, because a girl's body was found in one of the ponds, and no explanation was given how she landed in the pond. So I demanded, I was on hunger fast there, to say do a second post-mortem.
I see.
So at that time, even politicians were coming there at night and say you die there and all, and throw stones. We used to sleep there only.
Okay.
Hunger fast means you have to lie there.
Continued for 44 days.
Yeah, and we had managed at that time to block roads and everything. That was my best period, I think, and Metastrips was the second one, when I was really active, really active. Blocked the whole road and all, till finally we did a second post-mortem. Something was found in her system, but no one came forward to how it happened, to say how it happened. But I think that was a successful case, because we could wake up the people to look at the problem, we could wake up the people, the authorities also, to do that.
So that gave you at least some sense of satisfaction.
Lots
That
of
you
things.
just did not, lie low after that
Lots
thing
of
happened.
things, yeah, lots of things. I
Lots
didn't
of
lie low any time in my life.
Yeah.
I've slept outside the zonal education office in the opposite Holy Spirit Church for 4 days. There also we were stoned and all. I'm quite used to being stoned and beaten.
Now you are almost, I think, into 38 years,
30.
30 years of your NGO.
NGO. It'll be 31 in October.
Yeah, 30 plus years. So at the end of this 30 years, what is your sense of feeling? I mean, have you achieved the goal that you had set out to achieve for yourself?
Not fully, maybe. But
Still
there's
there's
lot
more
of
work
change.
to be done.
There's a lot of change. Women go to the police station. Women contact us. Women go to the police station on their own. They file complaints. And
This was not there earlier.
no.
And now you're talking
There
about
we used to
women.
go like their backbone.
Women go to the police station, you said. Now in Goa we have a dedicated women's police station, right?
Yes.
How
One.
successful is this experiment?
We
Are the women so free to just walk into the station
they
and lodge a
can walk
complaint?
in. Even I tell you one thing, there are a lot of changes even within the police. The home department has come out with a lot of changes. A woman can call from home and the pink force will come.
Yes.
There are helpline numbers. Police themselves have a helpline number. So that way women have much more support and they are becoming much more daring now. They are taking the lead for their own lives. But still, some part of our traditional grooming is still there.
I
So
see.
that has to go. Once that goes, the older generation begins to realize what is freedom, why a girl should be differentiated from a boy, why the girl can't go out at night. In some families, that's a problem. So, and when society stops talking about these girls who have to work at night, okay, safety should be there, but no one can prevent anybody from working at night.
Right.
So, I think there is a change and there will be a change.
If you want to bring act more changes for the liberty and freedom of women in Goa, which are the areas you think needs to be given extra weightage as
Work-
of now in this changing
Work
modern scenario?
in the work sphere.
Work sphere.
Yeah, there should be no roles for women. A woman should become only a teacher or something which is cozy. A woman today has proved that she can be anywhere. She can be anywhere, even in space. So don't curb her freedom. Just give her the freedom to grow, the ability to make her own decisions, the ability to decide for herself what is good for her. Don't force things on her, because when you force things on her, you emotionally curb her freedom. So if this is given, I think there will be tremendous change. But I see a change coming.
Do you still think that there is still family pressure on a woman to pick up the career
That they
of the
want.
parent choice other than her choice?
My
It
fa-
is still in existence.
My father wanted me to be a doctor, but I didn't want to be a doctor. I had 3 ambitions. I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a beautician. And all of them I fulfilled.
You're an
happy
exception,
about it.
ma'am.
No, that's not true. Anybody can do it. It's the goal that you set yourself. If you set a goal for yourself, then definitely you can reach it.
Yes.
Only little support initially we need. And
Do you
that's it.
conduct any awareness campaigns in the colleges,
I'll
institutions,
tell you.
so that our young ladies are aware of?
Every month there will be 3 to 4 awareness programs in schools, colleges, at the village level, at any place where we can gather a group of women. We are conducting this throughout.
And now what the
Successfully.
response do you get for that?
Good.
Good
We see
response?
changes, yeah, we see changes. We have conducted, I collect shells. for 35 years. So
Shells,
seashells, our seashells,
Yes.
not bought ones.
Mhm.
And out of that, I have conducted workshops for women, and one of those who learned from me has got the highest praise in Goa.
I see.
Yeah, and we ourselves also sell them, make things.
So
and
you are empowering women in a different
in
manner,
all
so
ways,
that
whichever.
can generate income for them.
Yeah, wherever I can be there, I am there for women. Be it their workplace, in teaching. Teaching also, there was automation grade and selection grade. I felt that selection few would be selected. I was one of those who would get it, but I didn't want it. So when our leader decided to protest, I was there. I was arrested.
Okay.
Yeah. So wherever a woman can get affected, I am there to fight for her, to be with her, to stand by her side till she goes to her logical end. I will stand by her.
What are your work schedules, ma'am?
24/7.
24/7 you are available to the
I'm available to the public and to the
Public.
police.
and the police.
Yeah, they call me for recording the statement.
Isn't this a very stressful engagement for you?
Do you feel me looking stressed?
No.
Then
What is the secret of this
that is
energy
the
that you are
answer. My hard work,
generating?
my dedication, and my commitment. Even if I'm at table having dinner, and the police give a call saying that a girl has been brought here, she's a victim of something. I leave that meal there and I go.
You still do it.
Yeah, I still do it and I'll still do it.
You drive on your own, or you
No,
have
now for the past 1 year I'm not driving. Because what happens is when you have the stress on your head,
yes.
then you might make a mistake.
Little
in
bit
your
of judgmental error can happen. While driving.
and
in
I
hurry.
don't want someone to be affected by through my efforts. So I don't drive.
When you look back
Yeah.
at this 30 years, how do you feel today that you have brought a change in society? You have given a kind of a different level of confidence to the women in distress. How do you feel about this whole thing?
I feel satisfied.
You feel satisfied?
Yeah. That I was able to change that. There are many girls whose lives I've changed. Many. I've changed them in a different way, given them a different destination, conducted even courses for them. I told you I run a beauty parlor.
Yes.
I have conducted courses for those who are going astray. In my capacity, I do artwork. So in that also I have reached out to, in whatever way. If I got an award, it has gone to educate some child. If I got an award, I have got the highest award of the government of India also, Kanagi Stri Shakti Puraskar. I've
Okay.
got of Goa government, I've got from Goa Sudarab, Godfrey Phillips, n number of awards. But whatever, if it was cash, if it's a trophy, I can't give it to anybody, it's there. But if it's cash, I've used it for
Ma'am,
educating.
our time is running out. One last question before I bring this chat to an end. What are your future plans for the women of Goa?
Actually, I have a dream which I've not been able to fulfill. I want to have a home for women where I can educate them, teach them vocational guidance, have skill development for them, push them back into society. I don't want them to live there forever. But I'm dreaming this dream and I know that I'll fulfill it before I go.
You're confident about it?
Confident. I will do it.
Thank you very much, ma'am,
Yeah.
for your time
Thank you.
that you have given
Thank
us
you.
in the studios.
Thank you. Too.
So that was Ma'am Auda Viegas, the founder president of Bailanso Ekfort. She has spoken directly from her heart, spoken about the work that she's been doing towards the distressed women, the work that she's doing in society to bring a change. And at the end of almost 30 years of her service with the NGO Bailanso Ekfort, today she is a very happy woman herself, because she has brought a change in society and is confident of doing much more in the near future. Keep watching your favorite channel, the CCR TV channel. Thank you.